Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while, I guess, but I've been, like I said, I've been uploading posts on my community tab regarding tape reading and just price action moves because I haven't been able to take trades, but the best I could do is just tape read moves that have already occurred. So that's just my best. So this is the weekly chart. I'm gonna do a review on the price move that happened on Friday, non-farm payroll, because it's significant and it's very interesting and it's very algorithmic, not to mention. So, but as of now, I'm very bearish. I was bearish on that day, obviously, and the candles were just so nice. They looked so. It was just clean price action. That's all I can say. But the reason why I'm bearish is because of this standard deviation. This is all-time high, intermediate term low, short-term high. We had already reached minus 1.5 deviation. So that's good enough for me to start looking for shorts. So what's my draw on liquidity? We took out this high, previous week high. My draw on liquidity is this CB. Let me talk about that for a bit and then we can get back to the price. My draw on liquidity is this BC plus this order block coupled with this order block. But if we're really bullish, I want to see us stay in the upper half of this BC and go higher. I don't mind us trading into this down close candle, which is our bullish order block. But that's just the weekly chart. Let's go back to the daily, see what's happening. We also have this BC right here, very discount, and which is good. And we traded to this new week opening gap, which was also my draw on liquidity. We have a cluster of new week opening gaps. This is my next target for us to go lower, relatively equal lows, too smooth. So I'll be marking that out for next week. Let me say lows. Yeah, I'm using a mouse today. Maybe that's why things look a bit more smooth. I don't know. Like not the computer mouse, but yeah, just my mouse. And you see this short-term low, lower low breaker coupled with this fair value gap. That's what you look for in gold. Breakers that are coupled with fair value gaps. That's why I said I want price to stay on the upper half. I'd like to see price stay on the see how that the body of this breaker is on the upper half of the weekly BC. But that's for later on during the upcoming weeks. Let's focus on what happened last week. It's Sunday today. I hope I'm definitely gonna upload this video after recording it. So let's go to the 4-hour chart. Nothing really interesting, just a sweep on this high, changing state of delivery. Actually, it is something interesting. So let me just changing state of delivery. It's our 4-hour order block and see how price respected the bodies and coupled with what this 4-hour fair value gap 2022 model total soup on this high which so happened to be our all-time. Sorry for that. Total soup on this high. I always label my turtle soups on higher time frames this way so I can know whether it's a daily or what. Turtle soup on the 4 hour order block, which is changing state of delivery. Fair Valley CB on the 4 hour. This is gonna be a top-down analysis, so I'm gonna scroll down to lower time frame and see exactly the entry logic and all that. Yeah. So CB 4 hour chart, it's written here. I like this because it's more cleaner instead of having them all the way up. I didn't take any trade because I was busy. My routine didn't allow me. So as you can see, let's go to the 1 hour chart. It's gonna be much more clear. As you can see, we did get that change in state of delivery. The order block is still there on the hourly, as you can see. Let me just refine that a bit. And then what do? We also refine our CB right there. As you can see, price traded to the opening price of the order block. And what's my draw on liquidity? Like I said, it's here. These lows were already taken out in price before price traded to the order block. But my real draw is here, this low also. And we can go to the daily. Yeah, also on the daily, these lows were too smooth, so there's still a good target, you know. This low was taken out, traded to this BC, coupled with this order block. But why didn't that send us higher? Because price didn't give us a signature that it wanted to go higher. Let's look at this wick on the hourly chart. See this? It failed to change the state of delivery here. We did get this inversion, but an inversion is not significant if there's no change in state of delivery. That when it comes to my model. So as you can see, we failed to change the state of delivery right there. Shows that we are really bullish. Plus, we are really what? We are really premium. So we should be looking for shots. We prioritize shots, and price gave that shot. A short setup. This is a short setup. So as you can see, I wanted to highlight the fact that price traded to the order block once and then went down and traded one more time, pushed down to our target. Why? Why didn't it trade down to our target? Why didn't it reach our target after trading to the order block? This order block became reclaimed. Why? Because of time, the time element. Because why? We were waiting for high impact news driver, which was our non-farm payroll on Friday. It traded here when? Last week, Thursday. Yeah, I guess this is a new week. So it traded here on Thursday, failed to push lower, bit of a consolidation, and then as you know, these are my session indicators, and then went up one more time, swept this high, respected consequent encouragement of the hourly BC, hourly CB in the order block. You should always like look for, I always personally, for me to like in terms of like refining my model, I always look for fair value gaps within the order blocks on the higher time frame. So that's my fair value gap. Swept that high, time element right before NFP, and then after trading down, what did it do? Propulsion block. Propulsion block on the hourly, traded to it, respected it, went down, reached our target, which was the drawn liquidity new week opening gap. Nice. That is algorithmic. That is perfect. So let's go down to the 15-minute time frame. This is where you're going to be looking for your entries. So like I said, price, this is the order block. I highlighted it on the hourly. Just keep that in mind. This is the 15-minute time frame. We traded to this CB, change in state of delivery coupled with this fair value gap. But look at this, the body of this candle. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I highlighted the fair value gap. But look at the body of this candle. It's not convincing. It's not, it doesn't carry much volume. I don't like using order blocks like this, especially on the 15-minute. Like it has to carry volume. So I wasn't considering it to send us lower, honestly. I was just coupled with this consolidation, hard consolidation. It was just too messy. And if you want to know if price is gonna start being one-sided, start being like really low resistant, or let me say expanding, you'd see it not consolidating on new week opening gaps and new day opening gaps. As you can see here, we're just consolidating around the new week opening gap high and low, which is a bad signature in price. Plus, like I said, the volume on this. So the volume of this order block wasn't just convincing. So what do? I wait, sit on my hands. So like I said, sweep. I treat this fair value gap as a support. Should I? No, in this case, it's a resistance level. And I wait for it to, I expect it to be traded to at least one more time so we can get a setup coupled with my time element. Friday, New York session before what? Before non-farm payroll. All right. So you see price tick goes there one more time, sweeps this high, as you can see perfectly did, and then trades into the fair value gap. The quadrants that are left after this high traded into the fair value gap. The quadrants that are left in the fair value gap trades into that, change in state of delivery, 15-minute entry, and then put your stop loss there. See how this gap remained open. That's a breakaway gap. It indicates bearishness, heavy bearishness. So let me just label this. I already did this on my trade, on my community tab. I left like a tape reading screenshot, whatnot. So that's our 15-minute enter there. I want to show you something that's also significant when it comes to news release. This is when non-farm payroll news came out at 8:30. I just marked out 8:30. The 8:30 candle. What do we have at 8:30? This inversion level right there. Let me see if there's a volume imbalance right there. No volume imbalance, so we just use the the wick. Let me just highlight that inversion level. See how exactly at 8:30 we traded to the inversion fair value gap and then continued lower. If we have an inversion fair value gap ahead of an order block, we anticipate that inversion fair value gap to act as resistance or support, or I could say order block. To that order block, we expect price to hold that inversion fair value gap to hold price lower or higher if you are bullish, lower if you are bearish, and for price not to return to the order block if we are really bearish. That's what happened right there. I talked about this in one of my videos, inversion fair value gaps ahead of order blocks. So you can use this as an entry level and put your stop at the order block. If we're really heavy, we're expecting price to be very heavy because we have a high impact news driver, and that's exactly what. Let's go to the 5 minute. Same thing. 5 minute inversion. 8:30 NFP news traded to that inversion one more time, and then what? Went down, closed. After the candle closed, trade higher to what? New week opening gap low. I don't know why I named it as high. I was probably I don't want to say high. I almost said high, but nah, I don't smoke. But yeah, traded to the order block, hourly order block, coupled with the new week opening gap low, and then shot down to the new week opening gap that was lower. And where do you take a partial? As you can see, before I talk about partials, as you can see in the 5 minute also, there's a order block, but the 15-minute order block is a higher time frame, so we prioritize it. You can enter here, but it's it's less risky to use the 15-minute one because the open is much higher than the 5 minute order block. Attention to detail. Yeah. I'm insane. I'm crazy. That's how you have to be. So this is where you take a partial. Previous New York AM low. That's where your sell side is resting. So you take a partial here. You enter here. Pyramid here. If you do pyramid. And then when you pyramid, you put your stop at the opening price of the order block. And then expect price to the bodies of the candles should stay within the inversion fair value gaps. We should only see wicks coloring outside the line. 8:30, trade into the inversion, down, hourly order block. Remember, price is fractal, so it cycles through all the time. And then trades there one more time, starts spooling. It gives in, it folds. So that's where you take a partial. That's when you enter here, it gives you a 1:2 partial, and then last target is here. And that's how you make your money. Then you're out. And you want to trade in these types of conditions, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be involved in this price move or this. Remember, this was a Thursday. So Thursday, the day before NFP, is always messy. So obviously was this consolidation. This is just time distortion. The real action happens here after the New York opening. When New York opened, London didn't trade into any relevant PDRA. That's why we had a New York reversal. It's as simple as that. This order block, hourly order block, is reclaimed. Simple as that. Because our target hasn't been reached, it can still be reclaimed. it can still be used. So we are not taking this as an institutional order flow entry drill, this fair value gap. Why? Because it's coupled with this order block. Yes, it could have traded to it. You can take it, but what's more significant is the opening price of this order block as an entry level. So as you can see, it got left open for fair value gaps traders. That's why I don't trade fair value gaps. I use them to frame my bias, you know. Yeah. But I know which fair value gaps are supposed to work. I can pyramid from a fair value gap, but I can enter from a fair value gap sometimes, but I prioritize, my model prioritizes auto blocks or changes state of delivery. It just gives you much more cleanup. Let me turn off the session indicator. This is just your clean chart. Beautiful. So that's my draw on liquidity. And we'll see on Monday if we can reach it, whether we're going to get set up to the hourly fair value gap here, here also, and then push lower to here, or it's just going to continue and just spool down, because it can happen. And that's just about it. I don't want to make this video long. It was important, but I like these clothes. They're so sexy. And this new week opening gap. So that's just about it. As long as the new week opening gaps haven't expired, or the new day opening gaps haven't expired, you're always gonna use them to frame your setups around them. And thank you.